Imagine walking into total darkness with nothing but a sharpened stick. You can hear something massive breathing just a few feet away, but you have no armor, no metal, and no modern medicine to save you if it strikes. This was the reality of the Ice Age, a world dominated by megafauna like the woolly mammoth. These creatures could weigh over 12,000 pounds, outclassing humans in every physical category. Even the predators of this era were oversized and specialized for the kill. From saber-toothed cats with 7-inch fangs to the terrifying marsupial lion, the environment was filled with creatures that viewed humans as easy prey. Physically, our ancestors were ill-equipped for this world. We lacked fangs, claws, and significant speed. In terms of raw strength, even a modern chimpanzee is stronger than a human pound for pound. In a landscape where survival usually required superior speed or power, humans were a physical anomaly. To survive among these giants for thousands of years, our species had to bridge the gap using psychological warfare and high-level coordination. On the open African savanna, the first hurdle for human hunters was distance. Most prey animals could easily outrun a human in a short sprint, making a direct chase nearly impossible. This led to the development of persistence hunting. Instead of relying on speed, hunters followed their prey for hours or even days, forcing the animal to keep moving until its own body could no longer function. Here is the biological advantage. Quadrupeds must pant to cool down, which is inefficient while running. Humans, however, evolved to sweat, shedding heat while maintaining a steady jog. Eventually, the prey's internal temperature peaks. Overheated and exhausted, it collapses, allowing hunters to move in. This was endurance warfare. By weaponizing their own unique cooling system, humans turned the natural biology of their prey against them. While persistence hunting worked, it still required getting close to an exhausted but potentially dangerous animal. One desperate kick or tusk thrust could be fatal. Neanderthals often faced this risk head-on, fighting their massive prey at point-blank range. Their fossilized remains frequently show bone fractures and severe trauma, identical to the injuries seen in modern rodeo riders. Homo sapiens eventually eliminated this risk by developing the atlatl. This throwing device was used by various cultures long before the invention of the bow and arrow. This vector diagram illustrates how the atlatl works. By acting as an artificial lever, it extends the effective length of the hunter's arm. This increases the radius of the throw, multiplying the spear's velocity and allowing it to penetrate thick hide from a safe distance. The shift to ranged combat meant humans were no longer limited by their physical reach, allowing them to attack from positions the megafauna couldn't defend against. As populations grew, human hunting transitioned from individual kills to environmental engineering. They began manipulating the landscape to trap entire herds simultaneously. Researchers discovered massive stone structures called desert kites, best seen from the sky. These giant traps funnel herds into narrowing stone corridors, driving them into a circular kill zone where escape is impossible, allowing organized harvesting on a massive scale. This level of planning proves that Ice Age humans possessed advanced social coordination and a deep understanding of animal behavior, thousands of years before the rise of early civilizations. The effectiveness of these hunting strategies had a global impact. A distinct pattern emerged. As humans entered new continents, the local megafauna populations began to disappear. This map follows the quaternary extinction. Large animals reproduce slowly, and by removing even a small percentage of the breeding population every year, human hunters likely triggered a population collapse that these species could not recover from. Many of these lost species feel like creatures of myth today. Giant ground sloths stood nearly as tall as mammoths, and massive armored glyptodons roamed the plains alongside them. This evidence suggests that the era of human-driven extinction began long before the Industrial Age. By being too effective at survival, our ancestors were already removing the largest animals from the global food chain. While we no longer hunt mammoths, our brains remain fine-tuned for the world our ancestors inhabited. Ancient survival required a hyper-vigilant brain. In a world without artificial light or safety nets, every sound in the darkness was a data point that had to be analyzed instantly to avoid becoming prey. Modern life can feel mentally draining because our neurobiology hasn't changed. We are still using a brain designed for tracking and survival in the wild to navigate the constant noise and distractions of the modern city. Our ancestors outcompeted more powerful species because they could imagine danger before it arrived and share that knowledge through a social network. They conquered through cooperation, not through a lack of fear. Your ancestors stood in the freezing darkness against creatures 10 times their size, and they won. They proved that the capacity for collective intelligence is the most devastating weapon in history.